let's do this. Okay, let's do something here. So if you haven't cut on all the little like pencil with paper things in the bottom, yep, it's my reminder to have you do something. All right, so we're going to create 3 wild goals. 3 wild goals. I just want you to, that's it, 3. Doesn't have to be 100. It's just 3. Okay, because a lot of times I get the question, how many goals should I have? And significant intentions or goals really take time to achieve. So I want you to give yourself that time. I want you to give yourself a focus too. Because if we have 7 million things, we can't focus. So I want you to set out 3 or 4 things. I'll make it 4, up to 4. But 3 or 4 things that you're going to do with gusto, that you're going to be ecstatic about, that you're going to really want to become, in the end, after a bunch of sucking at it, excellent at it. So I want you to think about, what am I going to do with gusto? What am I going to strive for excellence in? Versus just sort of doing it sufficiently. Okay, so one of the things about SMARTer goals that I don't really love is kind of about sufficiently. A little bit. It's like, let's make this reasonable and rational. Okay, I kind of want these to be not reasonable and rational. I want them to really empower you to do things differently. Do it differently, right? Now, you could also just have a singular focus. If you're going to do something amazing this year, it could be a singular focus. Like I keep telling you, 2023 was the year of the book and the year of the house. Like that was it. That was all. That was all I was focusing on. I mean, of course, as time went on, I focused on other things along the way. But really, when it boiled down to it, is this fueling either of those things? Is this a good use of my time? Okay, so you have to kind of trust, too, your inner guidance, I'll call it. You have to trust that you're going to figure out how to get past all the things that get in the way. Okay? And when, I want you to also think about this. When you do narrow down and focus, you also kind of breathe a sigh of relief. Right? It's a little bit of a sigh of relief. Like, okay, go back to the let this be easy. Right? I don't have to have 7 things. I can have 1. I can have 2. I can have 3. That's it. It's a little bit of a sigh of relief. So all of the days when I was sort of had like decision fatigue, which there were a lot last year, I just kept going back to, these decisions around these 2 things? Most of the time, yes. And if they weren't, I did say no, or I eliminated it, or I asked, what did I need to give myself in order to do that? So what are you most excited about? That's another good question to ask. What am I most excited about? What ignites you? What lights you up? And here are some questions that you can ask yourself. I think this is the slide that has the most words on it, just so you know. Because I was like, this is a lot of words, but I'm going to keep it up there. These are kind of questions you can ask yourself to kind of vet these goals, to help you feel better about them. Like, who can I work with to get this done? Okay, sometimes we forget about that. We think about we're all alone in doing these things. What's going to have the greatest impact? What's going to have the greatest impact? What's going to move the needle the most? Does this help me generate that feeling that I'm going after? Or does this feel heavy? I always say, like, do you feel like you're carrying a Santa sack, slogging along? Okay? What's going to make me the most money? What's going to require the most money? Okay, so I was telling someone last night, I forget who, maybe Hillary, but, today, I spent money on this today, right? But I was totally fine with that. I was 100% fine with it because for lots of reasons. Number one, I had a system to help me figure out if I had the money to do it. So that took away so much stress. Also, it was something I really wanted to do. So I kind of just, all the doubt or whatever, I just went away because that's something I wanted to do. So yes, it may cost you money, but is it really getting you where you want to go, right? And how could whatever you write down for these 3 things, how could it affect you 3 or 5 years, 3, 5, 10 years from now? How could it help that future you of, we've just been talking about the future you of December, but I want you to think about the future you of 3 or 5 or 10 years from now. And what's the scariest thing that you could do? That's always a great question. What would be the scariest thing I could do? Okay, what's the scariest thing? What would freak me out? What would feel impossible, but yet enthralling? Like, just, yes. Okay? So these are just kind of good questions to help you vet what you're choosing. And in case you're scared to make some choices, because you have too many things on your plate, I want you to also remember that you can change your mind anytime. I am giving you permission right now. You could change your mind tonight. And it's okay. I'm not going to follow you and tell you changed, right? You can change this any time. Sometimes when I'm doing that vision to action planning, people get super stressed out. Like, is this going to be forever? Like, what happens? But you can change it at any time. I'm giving you permission. And because remember that motion is better than staying still. And this kind of brings me to stuck stress and progress stress, which is something that I love talking about. I feel like we all are stressed, like, let's get real. But you can be in stuck stress where you're doing nothing, where you can't come up with answers, where there's no solutions. Or you can be in progress stress where you are deciding and things are getting easier as you're taking action. Okay, so like Aileen was saying, she just decide, okay? That's like moving from that stuck stress into progress stress. And maybe it all didn't work out, maybe it did, but she shifted. Okay, so before I go to the next slide, who has one wild goal that they want to say out loud? Because when you say it out loud, it gets real. Anyone have something they just want to say out loud? Go for it. Okay.
I was thinking about how rigid we tend to make, our wild goals, and we want them to be a certain way. And whenever I start feeling really rigid about my goals, I think about my husband and how he literally just thinks of an idea and then executes it. He does not think how he's going to do it. He does not give a shit about any of the details. He just does it. I think a lot of men do that as well. And so when I'm feeling that way, sometimes I'm like, well, how would he do it? He would just do it. He didn't even figure out the pieces. And I guess I just want to encourage everyone to not get so stuck on the details. To just, if they feel like there's this desire or goal in their heart, if they would just start pursuing it. So.
Thank you for sharing that. Now, you might get frustrated with him along the way, watching him do it. Okay. But it's true. I think that's true. He's just doing it. He's like, we'll figure it out along the way. I always tell the story of my husband would take the kids to the children's museum, and they're 2 years apart, and he would literally leave, let's say they were 4 and 2, he would literally leave our house with a diaper stuck in his pocket. And that was it. That was it. I would go and have the whole diaper bag and all the things, and he's like, I just have a diaper. What else do I need? I mean, someone's going to have wipes in that restroom. Like, what's the big deal? It's a children's museum. So, meanwhile, I had snacks and all planned out. So that's, he somehow survived. Everybody's still alive. They're 20 and 22. They're going to be okay. So anyone else have a goal they want to share? Sherry has a goal over to your right, Nicole. She can yell.
Well, we've been using it all day, so why would we stop, right?
I can't wait to hear this. Let's go.
My big wild goal, I want to have one beautiful box set of books all in 1 year. Yep, that's my big goal.
I love that. That's new and exciting. I haven't heard you think about that before. That's so good. Okay. Anyone else over here while we're over
Anybody
here?
else on this side? Yeah.
Oh, and the sun's shining over here on this side. Woo!
Amazing. So from last year to this year, I 10x'd my sales. So my big goal is to double my sales volume again this year. And it seems really impossible, but
Why not? Let's do it.
Yeah. And then I want to spend 2 weeks in Greece.
Okay. I think Rebecca will go with you. If you need a travel partner, she'll go. She's volunteering already. Anyone else over here want to share anything? No? No one? Okay.
Okay, what about
All right.
the middle?
What about the middle? The messy middle.
To buy another property and like as an asset.
Oh, I love that. That sounds exciting. Amanda's going to do it. She's going to tell us all the things.
I'd love to go decorate a chateau in the south of France.
Tiffany can help you with that.
Do the drapery, I'll do the upholstery.
Okay, we're good. We're good. I love it. Anyone else in the middle want to share?
Anybody in here? Ladies over here.
All right, it's a two-parter. I want to move into my own space, training space. I love my home, but training space. And I want to move out of solopreneurship. I want to hire women underneath me to work with me this year.
Yes. Let's do that.
Anybody
Who else?
I want to create education as like a side service to my traditional PT practice.
Okay.
Not for the people I treat, but for the providers that are not maybe holding things at the standard that I hold. So being able to bring everybody that comes into contact with, women dealing with women's health issues to kind of be on the same page. And to do that, probably gonna have to figure out a house manager to help me out with that side of life.
So that's like, okay, let's talk about that for a second, this house manager concept. That's not, okay, so you might say, oh, that's a luxury, right? Or, I don't know, that just sounds like a crazy thing. No, if that's the support you need to do what you wanna do, then you're gonna figure out a way to make it happen. It's all possible. It's all possible. So I love that. That's like exciting to me. All right, who else? Back there in the corner. Morgan is going to share hers. Okay, everybody, this is awesome. I can hardly wait. Yeah, let's tell us, ladies.
Let's do that. I didn't sign up for that. I'm Morgan. This is my sister Margot, and we took over our dad's utility maintenance company a year and a half ago. We grew revenue 9% the first year and 12% the last year. So we've been crushing it together, have a lot of fun, but my goal has always been to be a stay-at-home mom, but I have no kids. My sister wants to work full-time, but she is pregnant with her third kid right now, so kind of in different spaces, but trying to figure out how we grow together and then both obviously have the lives that we want. So we're both very aligned with each other and want what is best and what each other wants. So she's good with my goal. I showed it to her before. And it's wild. Okay. I said, figure out how to successfully work part-time and make the same amount of money.
Okay, we can do that. You on board, Margot?
It's very wild. I love it.
Okay. Do you have a goal you want to share? Besides make a baby this year?
I want to design, sign the dotted line, and start my new house build that I've been talking about for a year now. So
awesome.
That's my goal.
Love it. Anyone else over here want to share? We're good? Okay. All right, get your pencils out. Ready for the next piece of the last part of part 3? Okay, here we go. You are going to make a list of 25 things that you are willing to suck at or fail this year. So if you think about your goal, what are 25 things that you could try? So you might say, Andrea, I can think of 3 things, but I don't know about 25. I want you to really push yourself. What else? What else? This can be outrageous. This can be impossible. This can be, how would I ever do that? We don't need to know the how. What are 25 things that you are willing and ready to fail at? I remember I did this with some clients a while back, and I remember Cindy telling me, like, you did this, right? And it was hard. It was hard. But what it did, I think, I'm going to speak for you, is it really made her think outside the box. Right? It really made her think outside the box. Like in planning today, I had this sort of pipe dream. I'm like, I should have an MC for this thing. I've done this before, and I've been up here all day by myself, and it is not fun. So I am going to have someone up here with me, and it's going to be a lot more fun. So then as Annie and I were talking about it, I'm like, can you help me with this? She's like, yes, I can. So that's how this happened. Okay? But it could not have, maybe it wasn't going to happen, but I was willing to give it a whirl. Give it, maybe we weren't going to find someone, but I was willing to give it a whirl. What are 25 things that you are willing to give a whirl at?
Like try to cook one meal a week.
Yes, that could be it. For real. Like that really could be it. I don't know who you're talking about.
For me, I don't know who, yeah.
Right. Yeah. So it can be try to cook. It's so true. It can be that. It can be, try to travel for 60 days and only get to 54. It can be, it can be make $1 million. It can be have a team of 200 people.
Yep.
It can be
try a new makeup palette.
Right.
And apply.
It can be delegate all the things that I really hate doing.
Yes.
Find someone to help me with it because someone's probably going to love it. Right? It can be always stay in the green with money. It can always be, you always have a reserve fund of money. It can be that.
It could be, I'm just thinking, it could be read and understand the entire page of your P&L.
Yes. That is a good thing. I would like that. Yeah.
It could be try to go live on Instagram.
It could be. These are things that are
I heard that, yeah. Right?
Yeah. For me, one of my things is TikTok. I am not on TikTok, but I probably should be. Do you think I should be? I don't know. Okay, let's just take a little informal survey.
Yeah, I actually do.
Let's take a little informal survey. Okay, I'm going to give you 4 choices. TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, or LinkedIn.
Favorite platform you're asking?
Yes. I want to say, I don't want to call it favorite, but when you open your phone and you're like, okay, I'm going to waste some time and scroll on social media.
Or most that you use for discovering.
Okay, let's do 2 questions though. Let's do 2 separate questions. What do you go to first? Okay, so if you are a TikTok go to first person, raise your hand. Kate and Holly. Okay, 2 people. If you are an Instagram go to first person. A lot. If you are a Facebook go to first person. A little less. Okay. LinkedIn, go to first person. Aileen is really good at LinkedIn, so
I was gonna say,
you need to follow her on LinkedIn. I'm just going to put a little plug in for that. If you want to learn how to use LinkedIn, just follow her, and you're going to have lots of ideas. Yeah. Okay, but now to Nicole's point. If you're going to try to discover something or learn something or figure something out, does this change? Yeah. Okay, so who would go to TikTok to find out something? Colleen, you're like my daughter. You guys would go to TikTok to figure something out. Okay. She learns all these recipes and sends me things.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect.
I think it does. The algorithm on that one serves it up more strategically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who goes to Instagram to learn things?
Still same for me.
Oh, I could go to Pinterest. Yep. Who goes to Pinterest? Okay, perfect. The artists. See, look at this. 3 people. Who goes to Facebook? Who goes to LinkedIn? You do. Okay. Who goes to YouTube? Okay. YouTube. Okay. These are good.
Your podcasts on YouTube.
They are. Yeah. My podcasts are on YouTube. I don't know if anyone's really watching them, but they are there.
They're vlogs then.
They are vlogs. They are vlogs. Okay, how's this 25 fail list going?
You're a vlogger.
I'm a vlogger.
You're a vlogger.
I'm a vlogger, yep. Who's got one fail they want to share? Jessie Hillock, what is one fail? I'm going to call her out. What's the top one? What's the first thing you wrote?
Different one.
Different one. Second one. Okay, YouTube channel. Okay,
Love
perfect.
that.
Anyone else? Who, over here, one fail. Tell me. Come on. Am I going to have to start to call on? Melanie, what is one fail? I know, you just knew it. Right, but that is a tricky business.
She said learning the Amazon back end.
To put your book out on it? Okay. Okay, I love it.
Okay.
Okay, back row back there. They're very quiet. Heather.
Dance on stage.
Let's do it. I love it. I should have brought my dance party button.
Yeah.
I should have. I have a little dance, this could be easy. I got the money one. I have a dance one. Okay, anyone else? Lindsay, what's yours?
People will say no.
Oh, I like that. She's willing to have people say no. Okay. Anyone else want to share? Oh, tell me yours. Here comes Nicole with the microphone.
Because I want to take voice lessons, so I've been taking them since March. And my voice coach, asked me to be in the recital. I told her I'm not recital material.
I think you're perfect for recital material.
I do too.
And then she said to me, she kept going on. And I had to shut her up, so I said, I'll think about it. Then
Think
she
about
said,
it.
that's all I wanted to hear. So I think I might do it.
I think you should do it.
My husband already told me he's not coming.
And
And he already told me that
That's okay.
then I'll be on the stage. That we have this floating stage. He said, then you want to do that? He said, you can't do that to me.
I think you can do whatever you want.
Anyway, I'm just saying I'm going to do it.
Do it. Heather's going to dance and you're going to sing.
Yep, there
gonna
we
be
go.
perfect.
We're developing a
perfect.
small off-Broadway production.
We are.
today.
We are. What's
Anybody
another
else?
fail? Who's got one? This table over here.
Relationships with builders?
Relationships with builders.
Build relationships with builders.
Yes.
Okay, you're willing to fail at it.
Yeah.
You could suck at it, but you could be great at it. So here's another thing I want to throw out there. Are you giving equal airtime to the possibility that you could be amazing at this? Or it could be easy. Melanie's going to master that Amazon in about, she gives it half a day, she got it. Are you giving that equal airtime? Equal airtime. Because it could happen. Right? Our brains don't want to give it equal airtime. Our brains go to all the things that could go wrong. Like Stephanie was telling you about she launched a subscription service. Do they really want a subscription service? We've never done this before. I don't know. But she's willing to give it a whirl. Let's see. It might be amazing. It's going to be amazing. It will be amazing. Perfect. Perfect. Who wants to fail at something over here?
Oh, Michelle.
Ah.
I'd like to host quarterly social events for my followers and communities.
I like
I
that.
did one last year and it was pretty successful, I think, for the first one. So doing it quarterly would just, gain momentum and
Okay.
Love it.
Gain some momentum. Cindy, Cindy's laughing back there. So I can only imagine what
Cindy,
this is
what
going to
does
be.
it involve in your head? Yeah. But I mean like live or inflatable? Yeah.
Well, we get both going on.
no.
Terry inspired this earlier. I want to meet the owner of the Indianapolis Colts because he loves whales and he could sponsor me to come to all the schools in Indianapolis.
love
Nicole,
that.
can you help her with that?
Well, I could, but currently he's not doing too well.
I know, he's not doing
so
too well.
when he improves. Yes.
Yes, his
Okay.
condition isn't very,
No, a little
not
suspect
stable.
over there. Yeah. But I like the idea. Yeah. Because
Well-
if you find that person who's passionate
Yes.
about the same thing you are, they're going to help push
Right.
you.
Right.
Like a train car, and kind of pull and push, and I love that.
Yeah. All right, what about our whale friends back there? Come on, ladies. Tell me one thing you're going to fail at.
Well, I recently moved to a new city and don't know many people. And my husband and I, previous city we lived in, we hosted a professional development book club. And so I would like to do that this year to create a community of like-minded, growth-minded people.
Okay, so good.
You will not fail at that.
Oh, we got another one at the end.
Love it.
So I'm with the Whalemobile, but I also got my captain's license, but I haven't had the confidence to actually do anything with it. So
Captain of a boat, by the way.
Sorry, captain of a boat, whale watching, to captain
she
a whale
can
watching
captain
boat.
a whale watch boat. So if anyone's ever been on a whale
I
watch.
have the license to do it, but I don't have as much experience. So just actually taking that step to do it.
Yeah.
So
Let's do it. I love it. Invite us all. Anyone else over here? No? We're good? Okay. Did anyone get to 25?
Oh, yeah, that would have been great. You got to 20? Wow.
All right, I'm going to zip my lips, seriously.
Okay.
For 2 minutes.
Okay.
And we're going to have silence.
Really?
And I know, it's hard to believe. And I really want you to think about these 3 wild goals and 25 things. Okay, do you want me to put that list of questions back up? Okay, because I was like, let's see, how do I do that? There we go. Okay, it's gonna be like a timer, do, okay? That kind of thing. Here we go, and I'm even gonna use my phone to make it official.
You did it?
3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. How'd it go? Did you get further to 20, closer to 25? Yes? Okay. All right, so here's how I want to close out this session here for the next few minutes. I want you to think about sticking with it. I lost my clicker. Okay, so you're going to leave here today, right? You're like, oh my God. Yes, we talked about a lot of things, but this sounds like a lot. This sounds like a lot. How are you going to stick with it? Because I hear a lot of people say, I just know myself that I'm gonna, I have all the best of intentions of drinking half my body weight in water every day. And I bought some new water bottles on January 1st that even have the little, you guys have probably seen them on calls they have little motivational things like, you're halfway there, keep going, it's 2:00, okay? But do you stick with it? Do you stick with it? If you don't stick with it, if you weren't to stick with it, what is going to get in the way? Okay, so we talked about a belief plan, and we talked about a life plan, and we're talking about an action plan, but I want you to think about right now, what potentially could get in the way of you not sticking with it? What could get in the way? And it can be people, it can be money, it can be that shiny object that sounds like a great idea. It can be kids. It can be husbands or spouses or partners or your mom. My mom always just telling me, you're working really hard. I hope after today, I hope you're really going to take next week off. This is what she keeps telling me. I'm like, okay, thanks, Mom. Thanks for the boost of confidence there. I don't know no, I'm not taking next week off, but thanks. So what's going to get in the way? Go back to those most valuable resources. Well, we mentioned money, time, but now Stacy's taught us that we have all the time we need. Okay? Money, we can figure that out. Brain power. Let's talk about that one a little bit.
Yeah.
And people. Okay, brain power. What happens if you run out of ideas? Do you ever run out of ideas sometimes?
Yeah, and I was going to say, what if one of the reasons you can't get that goal is just because capacity, which is like brain power. Maybe I'm not skilled enough to understand how to do it or how to fix it, but you come up with the idea or, you know where you want to go, but you don't exactly know it because you're not capable. It's not your skill set.
It's not your skill set. You've never experienced it before. It feels impossible. Okay, so what happens when things get in the way? I think when that happens, when the brain power piece gets in the way, you really do have to tap into your other resources. I always ask, which time, money, brain power, what's the most valuable resource? Time. I'm going to argue with you. It is not time.
Well, that's what we all say.
That's what we say, right?
We're busy.
Right. Time. Brain power is your most valuable resource because you can use that to, air quotes, create time. You can use that to create more money. You can actually use that to create more brain power by using someone else's brain or investing in your own brain, right? So that's think about that. What's going to get in your way? What do you think is going to get in your way? Who has an obstacle that they're thinking about that maybe I haven't mentioned? Feelings are going to get, who's Jennifer, you said? Okay, feelings are going to get in the way. Yes! Okay, but we're all smart enough to know that we can change our feelings. Did you know that you could be excited about something right now, even though it hasn't happened? You can access any feeling you want right now. They are all available to you today. Sometimes, because we're humans, we say, well, when this happens, then I'll feel so much better. This happens a lot with money. When I hit this goal, money-wise, or when I hit this number of employees, or when I hit this client number, or when we have this many jobs, then it'll make everything better. The stress will go away. I'll just feel so much better. Okay? So I kind of always say, look, how are you going to feel when that happens? Relieved. Sometimes people say relieved. Okay? I'm going to feel at ease. I'm going to be calm. I'll gain some confidence. You can feel calm and confident right now. And imagine if you did feel confident, what would you be able to do today? If you felt confident right now that you're the person that has 20 clients this year, you're going to go after it. Right? You don't have to wait until the 20 clients come. Okay? So I want you to make a list of possible obstacles that are going to get in the way of you not sticking to it? What's on that list? What is on the list? I mean, it could be like husbands or partners not quote unquote supporting you, whatever that really means, because it means a lot of things and it looks like a lot of things. It could be someone just questioning you. All right, so what's going to get in the way? How are you, when you're turning your vision into action, what's going to get in the way? Okay, so I was recently looking through some of my content, and Emily's going to kill me. But here she is. This is a quote from Emily, our amazing photographer, okay? And I just stole this graphic. It was already created, but I wanted to highlight, and I didn't because I didn't spend the time to go back into Canva, my new favorite friend, look at that last sentence. Maybe most importantly, I've started to actually believe that I am worthy of having my own goals and dreams and desires. Like no one can get in the way. Right? Like no one can get in the way. So we did, I don't know, a year and a half ago. It was in September, I think, September of 22. We did a version of this Vision to Action Intensive. And this is kind of what came out of it. She had this actionable plan with steps. Now we just redid it like last week, kind of round 2. And all these other things came up. She had all these other different ideas or the same versions of the same thing, but flushed out more, right? It's getting clearer and clearer and clearer. Okay. So what's going to get in your way? I think a lot of times, all right, and I picked on people that were here. There's Sherry. Okay. A lot of times what gets in the way is confidence or lack thereof, right? So she had on here, and I should have highlighted it, I had a lot more confidence, right? She got energized and excited when she put them on paper. Now she has new things to get excited about. So what's getting in your way? I really want you to think about that and how you're going to kind of shift that vision into action. Okay? How you're going to do that. How you're going to take the time to do that. So I also want to go back to what that trust at the beginning, when I said TRUST, and the secure support thing. I want you to ask yourself, who's your support? What is your support? Where is that support coming from? Where is it coming from? What would that look like if I had different support than I already have? Because you all have some support right now. But what would be different if I had a different support network of people that I could connect with, relate to, ask questions? I like to say your own personal board of directors. What would that look like? Okay, so that sheet on your table, again, on the other side of there's one side that's about a Vision to Action Intensive. The other side is about ongoing coaching support, if that's something you are interested in. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. Let's, before we break, what are some obstacles? Like, share with me some obstacles. Let's get 3 obstacles up here. What's coming up? Colleen, what's coming up? What's an obstacle? Okay.
It's a good one.
Yep, we're going to get the microphone over there. She's going to tell us again.
You've got some doubters. Is that what you said? Haters, doubters. Taylor Swift calls them haters.
I just said I have really big goals for myself, and I have a lot of people in my community or sphere that think that they're too big and that I should shoot a little bit smaller.
Okay.
Yeah.
I disagree.
I do too.
Okay. All right, who else? Stephanie, what's going to get in your way? She's back there behind Colleen, right there. I'm picking on her.
Hi, Stephanie.
Poor time management. So really pouring into the time management piece.
Okay.
And making my time spin better for me.
Okay.
I like that.
Time. Does anyone have that as an obstacle?
Yep.
Okay, we're going to figure that out. Anyone else? Obstacle. Your children's needs.
Yeah.
Okay, Sherry's children are now ages
16 and 17.
They can make their own peanut butter and jelly, but I know it's not as simple as that. Yeah, all the stuff.
They're changing.
They're changing, right? They're evolving. Yeah. Okay. Oh, look at this obstacle hands going up.
I love it.
Tell me.
Foot traffic, clients, people coming in. Like I've built something pretty, but now I need people to come buy them and hire me.
All right, but is that but okay. Let's think about this in a slightly different way. Okay. Can you literally control that? Right?
The actual foot traffic? Like people walking
Yeah, people walking in. Can we really control how many exact people walk in? We cannot. So thinking of that as an obstacle is kind of doing yourself a little bit of a disservice. Because yes, you need people. Yes, you need people. But I want you to think about things that are kind of in your own control. So you could say Sherry's kids are out of her control, but not really. She can decide how much she wants to engage with them, help them, do whatever she wants to do with them. Right? Colleen's like, okay, other people are saying things, but really that's just getting in Colleen's head. That's what's getting in the way, not the other people per se. So what's in your head about the foot traffic that's getting in the way? I won't have enough, right? That thought is getting in the way. Do you see what I mean? So that's something that you can control and you can manage and you can overcome. That you can manage your thoughts. We honestly can't really manage how many people walk in the door. I mean,
you can motivate them to
right.
come in through, tactics.
Right. But okay, that's that. Did everybody see where I'm going with that? Okay. Yes, Stacy, tell us.
I sometimes experience a lack of motivation or follow through.
Okay.
I feel like you know how people say, well, motivate yourself by thinking of a way that you can reward yourself. I feel like I reward myself every day. So that's not an incentive for me to motivate. That's not a motivator for me. So
I want you to think about, how do you want to feel?
Well, I want to feel like I'm successful and do follow through on my commitments. But I feel like the commitments that I don't follow through on are the ones for me. I think if I have commitments to others, I follow through on them, but the ones for myself, I tend to.
Okay, so you want to feel committed.
Yeah.
Right? Committed to yourself and what you want to do. So the thought, you've got to have a thought that's going to support and trigger that feeling. Like, I am amazing, worthy, I am capable, let's do this.
Yeah.
I'm done being just interested in doing it. I'm doing it. Yeah. Right? So we can control that one too. Imagine this, we can control all these obstacles. So intriguing. It's so good.
Yeah, like
okay.
I am worthy of me prioritizing.
Yes.
Me.
Yes.
Me. We prioritize other things, but
yes.
Let's prioritize stuff. Kate had something.
Yeah. So for one of my goals, I really would like to have a brand partnership with a product I use all the time in my design. So, one obstacle I'm thinking about is, and how it would feel if they said no. Right?
Yeah. If they're like, so sad, too bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so that's kind of the willing to suck at it thing, right?
Right.
Being willing to go after it.
I'm here for it.
Yeah, and so what's the worst thing that can happen if they say no?
You go to the next.
A feeling.
Right.
Well,
go to the next thing.
And they often say just not right now.
Right.
Yeah.
We had a client who is an interior design firm, and one of the reasons she brought us on because she wanted a brand collaboration. That was a good goal.
Right.
But she couldn't get it if she didn't grow her social media, right? So it's kind of fun, and guess what? Now she's getting them from Collier and all these other places, but they said not yet. Now they're saying, yeah.
Yeah, it's time.
So.
Super interesting. Yeah. Just a feeling, right? And then there's from that, you can take some different actions. You can grow if they said no, what do I need to do?
Yep.
Right.
What do I need to do? There's other things come of that could be great. She's realizing other things she can do.
Right.
Yeah. All right, who else has an obstacle?
This one's not new. Hillary. From Cincinnati. It's balancing the fact that I was a stay-at-home mom forever. And so now I want to go back to work, but trying to balance the concept of, I know you say that it's not an either or, it needs to be an and, but the concept of going from being the stay-at-home mom who's always accessible, who's still dealing with like kids as I'm sitting here, and separating the life of trying to be the working person and just trying to make that an and thing.
Integrating.
Right. I love that word, integrating, Stacey. But no, that's like my big obstacle because I don't want to give up. I've loved this time of life with my kids, and I don't want to, I know you keep saying to me, Aaron's going to be fine, but, I don't want to lose out on any of my time. I know it's this world of scarcity, and it's not, but, so I had this wonderful time with the kids, but I also want to grow my business.
So that's an and. How can we do both? And it's also shifting a little bit of your identity. I'm someone who has an amazing business and is available and present for my kids.
Right.
That's the challenge, right?
Oh, it's all mindset.
It's all, but you can do it. That's managing your mind.
Yep.
It's all managing your mind. Jill, what's getting in the way? Besides snow.
This may go along with foot traffic, but I suffer with chronic pain, and it often gets the best of me without me doing anything other than just being in that moment. So for me, making sure that I prioritize myself, which is very difficult when you have kids and parents and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
So the obstacle is just chronic pain, trying to work through that.
You can do it. Well, you've already done it. You've had bouts of success with that, right? Yeah, it's good. All right, over here. And then we'll have a snack because, we're all very hungry.
Yeah, very starving.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think this one's a little different. I have a repeating pattern of getting really excited and leaning into growth and having all the confidence and moving forward. And then one person says something or something happens that gets under my skin.
Yep.
And then all I think about is I wish I was just a barista at Starbucks and can just unplug and go home at the end of the day.
Yes. That's so I used to think, don't ask me why, but when my kids were really little, I was like, I could just be the mail person. I just go to work, I sort the mail, I put it in the mailboxes, and then I go home. It would be all so easy, right? So, yeah. Okay.
I was actually going to say something like that. If there was an obstacle sometimes, like this has happened in the past to me, and I don't think we've used this phrase yet today, but like sometimes it's not even that the haters are going to hate. It's like you're letting people live rent-free in your mind.
Yes.
Like I always joke with the boys, they fight with the girls at school, and then they come home and it's all they can talk about. We always say, oh, that little girl's living rent-free in your mind, But then you realize like sometimes that happens to me. Like I'll see somebody else's, whether it's a success or somebody else's perception, or I hear what they say about something, and then I just like can't get it out. And like that rent-free occupancy is a bad thing. You have to get rid of it.
Yeah, and it's taking your power away.
100%.
And you're becoming kind of the victim of one person's comment.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous when you think of it that way, right? Yeah. But that's a good one. Mm-hmm. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yes. Wrong. Kaylin's got an obstacle she wants to share with us.
They kind of go hand in hand. So one being my brain power as far as not my specialty, but how to approach community and marketing, basically, to grow, but also the capacity for doing that, because that's effort, right? You have to be able to put forth effort, be able to create material, and things along those lines. So those, kind of time, but more like, what is my capability mentally to handle all of these things? Not so much like the minutes of it.
I want to think like, what's your capacity?
Yes.
Right? What's your capacity? And so how do we expand our capacity?
Support.
Mm-hmm. Right? Support. And I think a lot of times when we have that capacity thing, that's true, capacity, but it's also those decisions are taking up so much space. They're even, and you're not making, they're limiting your capacity even more. It's like the meter's going down even more because you're just, right? Yeah. All right, anyone else over here? No, we're good?
I had one thought I wanted
tell us.
to add is like, I remember just like, again, starting business and thinking through, and I remember like being asked like, well, what's your superpower?
Yeah.
And I remember my response, and it's still, if I write it somewhere, I know it's written somewhere, but it's like not taking yourself too seriously, which goes along with everything you're saying about, you know, it's okay to fail, or I'm not scared to fail, or that will be a learning lesson in itself. And if you don't take yourself too seriously, no one individual is going to offend you. No one's comment about you not, you know, you having a too lofty goal isn't going to bother you. Just, you know, not taking yourself so seriously that if you miss some minute of your plan, it doesn't all crumble.
No, it does not. You can't take, it goes back to, am I having fun or am I taking myself too
100%,
seriously?
yeah.
Yeah,
You'll
this
be
is going to be fun.
stressed. You'll be stressed.
This is simple, doable, and fun. That's one of my favorites. Simple, doable, and fun.